Okay, so today's December 1st. I think I've done another 48 hours playing around with spirits. Who had another black magic assassination attempt that was foiled by me before I had a climax, which potentially could have given me a stroke, which is what they've been looking for, all these last few times. So, well, you can see in that shit there. Pretty hard to see. But you see that funny looking thing there on the top? Near the middle, it's kind of it looks like this. It's shifted up like that. That's what it looks like. There's actually two of them there. I'll go up there in a minute. But that's a lever. So there's two levers there. So the two levers is a representation or handles of one being up top, like the top of the house here, or the air, and then one being on the bottom, or earth. Now, as I was sitting here on the toilet, taking a crap, this was in there. So, palm is a representation of doing that, palm. And then olive means green, right? Like a green, because olives are green. But it also can mean like an olive branch, like to offer peace treaty, the olive branch. And the branch is associated with branch chain amino acids. Which it's kind of connected to my stepdaughter, Minokama. Because her nickname is Minnow, M-I-N-O, and that's how amino acids is spelled, A-M-I-N-O. So, branch, chain, amino acids. Acids. Well, what does acids have to do with it? Well, it means fire. Like acids is the stomach, and that was assigned the element fire. So branch chain amino acids refers to branch chain amino fire, meaning I was gonna work with her, her spirit, and see what would come about it, but this thing here, it's making me a little bit hesitant whether or not I should or not. My previous video said all these other things, so those are the clues that I've been getting. I'm supposed to work with her spirit. So branch chain or wood chain amino fire, which means it could be the opposite. This could mean palm branch or olive branch, peace can be attained using wood, because that's what a branch is. Wood. Branch means wood, and then the chain, and then amino fire acids, right? So, again, it's very complex work that I have to do here, and these guys, I know what they're up to. They're trying to do cast black magic, but at the same time, they're trying to use me as a weapon to hurt all creation and kill their own spirits by using the energy in my body. They may even be trying to use me to create a black hole. So. I haven't decided what I'll do, because what they're putting in my head now is that I'm going to have a stroke. So it means either one of two things. One is I theoretically could have one, depending on what their black magic is, or it's just a fear tactic to keep me away from climaxing to um, Monogama, who might have the element fire. I really don't know if that's a good thing for me, because I don't even know. If I'm Earth and she's fire, that's like electricity, according to the space in space there. So they could be getting me to use her as a way to like lock away my spirit. So I would kind of tend to not maybe use her. So they've been very good at manipulating the situation to try to get me to use her though. So that's just one clue. So palm, olive branch, right? Chain amino acids. Now what's the other one? Oh yeah, they don't have to do with my toy. This is what they're using to try to cast a stroke spell on me. So this thing used to be longer. Used to be over to here. But it ripped here because there's a place that goes, there's a vibrator that goes in there. So I just cut it off where the rip was. So it ripped up to here. So I just cut it off there. So this is my toy that I use. And there's a really great deal of sensation with this toy as compared to using my hand. So this is the setup that I use. Because I've been most of my vision quest I've been laying on my back, and when I climax on my back, that's water. But for this one here, I usually just sit like this. Oh, you see that? So I'm sitting up, and I try not to touch my back on the wall because that's magic. I usually have my legs spread. My legs are spread. So, what I usually do here is I'll kind of roll up the towels like that. Okay, so roll up the towels and then hang that thing down like that, and then I'll put that thing on the knob like that, and I'll play around with it. Like I may use fingers like that. Or I may go like this, or I may go like that. But there's kind of a twerking motion. Like you twerk it, and when you torque it like that, it produces like almost like a black hole effect. Like there's magnetism in it, which is really weird. I can feel magnetic energy coming through this toy from my hand. So as I'm pushing my head into this section here like that, and I'm torquing it, I can feel that magnetism in there. And it's really powerful. And it's like, holy crap, that's like a vibrator. But, that's just doing the torque. But when I make a spirit climax, there's an exchange of energy that flows down my back and into my penis and into this toy where my penis is. And it feels, how do I put it feels fantastic, man. It feels like it's like a vibrator without having to have batteries. So, this is made out of petroleum, right? Because it's like a plastic, which means it's made out of animals. Animals is the element water. So I'm actually playing around with water with this thing here. So when I'm playing with this, I'm actually infecting the spirits. All of us are. Like when you play around with your toys, you kind of infect the plant spirits. I mean the animal spirits. So I've been working with this for the better part of almost going on 48 hours now. There were certain times where I could feel pressure in my head, like it feels like I was up in a plane and my ears needed to pop, but I couldn't pop my ears. I was like, what the hell's going on there? And that's not normal. So I got up, I walked around, I looked around for the trouble spots, then I exercised, I ate, and then that sensation in my head went away. Like there was no pressure in there. So, when I use my hand, there's I'll put it. It's not like when I'm on that crystal meth, it's hard to get erect. With this thing here, I'm able to get erect a lot easier. I don't know what it is, but when I use my hand, it's almost like it feels erect, but it's not erect because up near the top, it's kind of flaccid, but it isn't really flaccid. On the base, it's solid. There's something going on inside my penis that the spirits are making it so that it's making it hard to get erect. Because if I have an erection, that's the male side of creation. So somehow, some way, working with these evil spirits and climaxing over and over and over, they've somehow infiltrated my body somehow, some way, and have taken over my erection so that it's very hard to get an actual erection while on the crystal meth to have an orgasm. Because I'd like to have an orgasm as a male, as opposed to having like a half flaccid, half erect orgasm, which is representation of the female side of creation. So, this toy here, if I had climax with that, this hole on top of here, you see, you can stick your finger right there. There's a hole in there. All right, so that hole being on the head or the tip would connect to the my penis head, which also has a hole. So this is like it performs double duty for their magic. They named the shaft or the head of the penis a head, which connects to our head, which is where strokes happen. So by having this called a tip and a penis tip, those two words are interconnected, tip and tip, and having a hole in this tip is equivalent to having a hole in my brain through the hole in my penis head when I have the ejaculation. And that's the black magic that they were going to try to cast today and to kill me. So I gotta get my shirt on here. So that sex toy, it's in the garbage. I think it was tossed out last week, so sorry to help the house. But I had another one of those toys before, a couple of years ago, and it's laying around in the yard here somewhere. So because it's lying around in the yard somewhere, it enables them to cast their magic. That similar toy or exact same toy being outside somewhere connects it inside of the house. And allows them to cast their black magic. Oops. So, we'll go to the shed. And then I'll go to the van. The majority of the magic is in the van. Now, there's this here. So that's a representation of a 7, and that's a 7. So 77, right? But these are coat hangers. That's why I made the imprint there. My ex threw a coat hanger rack on there, and it smashed up like that. So this would be the part where you hang your coat here. So it's a representation of me hanging myself. If I use my stepdaughter, because that's a number 7. That 7 is connected to rainbow, because there's 7 colors in a rainbow, and that happens to be her name, Menokmek Gimmelwan, which means spring rain. So the rain association in her name is connected to rainbow. which is connected to this 7, to the 7 colors of the rainbow. Now, these two things here, okay, the 7s are the way they're shaped like a, I would say it looks like a penis. This looks like the shaft, there's the head, and then this could be the balls here. That's what it reminds me of. So, the number is basically telling me, do not work with an oak man because you could hurt yourself. I mean, it's up in the air or down below. So now we got to go look at those arms out there in the shed to get the message of the 2 7s, or the 2 coat rack hangers, which is a representation of my stepdaughter through the association of 7 colors of light making up a rainbow. Woo, slippery. Really slippery. Yeah, so I was gonna order a tape off of her because you can for like $400. I could get a tape off of her. For me, that's important because I've been spending too much time on the eastern door. So that's what I wanted to use the tape to, you know, bring myself back to reality. So, there's a powerhouse lights in here. Hang on. Okay, there's those levers there, right? That looks like the mark on the wall, and there's one there. So those are the 2 levers that you've seen up in the bathroom there. Now, this is a coffee machine, which is associated with energy because it gives you energy through the caffeine. The same way crystal meth gives you energy through all of the chemicals in it. So these 2 levers here, or handles, that's connected to the name, Diedrich. But if you just keep the rich part there and then do the die, it means died rich. So D-I-D, died rich. It means in a past life, when I was at this point, I died rich. I have $1,000 today. Everyone in Saugeen gets $1,000. That's our Christmas money. It's interest off the money that we have in our Ottawa trust account. So I'm rich today because I have $1,000. So with the 2 7s in the bathroom, imitating these 2 handles here, connected to dying rich through energy. You know, I'm a little bit hesitant to have that climax. There have been certain times where I would say fuck it, man, I'm gonna do it anyways. I don't care what you guys say. You know, and I would have it. And then after the orgasm, I'd be like, "Whoo! I made it. I'm through. I'm alive. I didn't die of a stroke." But this one has really got me freaked out, man. I don't think I'm gonna have an orgasm. I can't risk it, man. So that's just, you know, how I have to avoid my pitfalls and traps because was it But when I'm on that stuff, these guys got me doing all kinds of different weird things. Like they're casting magic, the spirits, and they're manipulating the situation to get me to do things in their favor, such as last year. They got me to bring my dog beds out here and put them in the van. So these dog beds here are connected to this pump. This is a pump here. This pump being in the van, along with all the dog hair in here. You see that dog hair there? It's everywhere in here. That's from Louis. So he's got all kinds of dog hair in here. The reason why I brought the beds out is because I figured it would be safer to put the beds out here instead in the house. But by doing that, it's creating a connection to my house because these are dog beds. These beds now connect to my bed in the house. And with this air pressure pump being in here, it means it could increase the pressure in my brain and give me an aneurysm. So, that's the complexities of the magic. You wouldn't know that that's black magic, but it is. Simply having that pump in here, and the dog hair, and the... I should show you this other one over here. There's a flat tire here. It's flat, that's why the pump is in there. But the pump is broke. This thing, it doesn't work no more. So that tire being flat connects to what the people in England call their homes. They call them a flat. You live in a flat sometimes, right? So simply by having that name flat and a flat tire connects this van to my house through the flat tire. And then the fact that there's no pressure in it, it's connected to that pump there, and when I pump my kids, like Manukma is family, well, stepdaughter, so that's a kin. So creating that word pumpkin is a way to cast magic. So when I pump my kin, wage of spiritual warfare, and if I was to have a climax like that, the pump from the kin or family would connect to that air pump in there and give me an aneurysm inside the house. Now, one more piece of black magic information, then I'll shut this class down. Regarding black magic. Go! So, I brought the beds in. The dog hair on those beds still connects to the van. So, you see these here? That hole in that wood, it's like a hole in my brain. And there's one over here. Right there. So that's like a hole in my brain. Through my wood, because that's the nickname of a morning wood or an erection. So the hole in the wood means I get a hole in my brain by playing out my wood. So what they got me to do like 2 months ago is they got me to dump pumpkin seeds down there. I was gonna put them in the toilet, but then I freaked out. Said, I'll put them over here. So I put them in here, and then this sink it clogged up. So the sink clogging up means to like clog up an artery in my brain, like up in the brain. So clogged up sink, clogged up in my brain. With them being pumpkin seeds, it's the pump is connected to that pump in the van with air pressure. So the pumpkin seeds in there connect the pump plus the kin or the people that I'm working with, like Manokma or Sherry or Leah or Jaden. So those are kin, like family. So pumpkin. And then the seed is another name for male ejaculation. So pumpkin seed stuck in there like a clog as a representation of me getting a brain aneurysm through a blood clot, like a clog. So they got me to go to Walmart to get this little thing here so I could unclog it. Because I didn't want to have a climax with the, the pumpkin seeds in there. So I went and got this damn thing and I unclogged it. But now this becomes another weapon. I just haven't figured out how they're going to use it yet. So those pumpkin seeds I put down there that were clogged up for the longest time, that's part of the magic that they were trying to cast to give me a stroke today. I think that's all. So everything I just told you works off of the orgasm. So the method to cast the spell to try to give me a brain aneurysm at the moment that I'm having a climax is all these subliminally interconnected things that you would have no idea about unless you're me. So how's it going with that? I forgot, I lost my train of thought. Anyhow, very elaborate, way to try to kill me tonight or today. They were trying to get me to have that orgasm with that toy there. But is that playing around with this? I'm analyzing things as I'm going. Sometimes they even get me to put something in there. I clogged that up with something. I don't know if I have it here. Let's do. So, what I would do is I would stick my lighter in there. I would stick it in there like that. Stick the lighter in there, and it would clog that hole up. Which when I did that, it connects to the clog in the sink. That's what I was going to tell you guys. So they got me to take out this sink here. So there used to be a pedestal sink here, but it didn't work. So I ripped the damn thing out, then I tossed it outside. So it's sitting out front there now. It's on the front side of the house, which is connected to the van. And then they got me to clean out this J trap here. Okay, so screw that there. All right. So this is part of the magic. So right there, see that word on there? It says bow. Bow. So that connects to rainbow. So this is what they call a J trap, which is connected to jaded, like just through the word J, right? So it's a representation of trapping the mother somehow through poison ivy, because that says ivy. Who's the poison? Well, it has to do with the bow. I would assume it's my stepdaughter. So as I'm doing my investigation, which I might add, this hoodie that I'm wearing is part of their black magic. So this hoodie is part of their magic. That's magic. Because it has the word hood, then die, D-I-E, so hoodie, right? So those things being up there, those are my clothes, that forms part of the magic, which connects to these cans because they're up off the ground too, which is connected to these dog food bags, which then connects back to the van, and connects back to those beds, and then connects to my bag or my scrotum. So Yeah, so as I'm analyzing the clues, I'm watching the videos, I'm analyzing the videos, I'm trying to get information off the videos. I can't tell if it's real or if it's legitimate information that I should trust or not, but I've been hearing all kinds of stories. I'm hearing that, Mother Jade is not even alive. She's like, she passed away a long time ago or sometime. And the guys that control the creation, they came and they grabbed her and they deatomized her and hid her away somewhere. My clue for that is from the movie Lucy with I can't remember that girl's name. Scarlett Johansson. She plays this lady. She becomes a drug mule, and they put drugs in her stomach, and then the bag opens up, and she gets super duper smart. So she goes to a hospital, and they figure out that it's called CPH4, which has to do with pregnancies. On the 6th week of a pregnancy, that's when the chemical CPH4 is released into the baby's bloodstream through the mother, which kickstarts the bone development. It's like an atomic bomb going off. So that Lucy, it's connected to what's the one? Lucy from Super 8. If you watch the Super 8 trailer, they talk about dogs. The dogs, they all ran away. It's like the dogs, they all ran away. And then they showed the one kid, looking for his dog. You see a bunch of wanted posters of people's dogs, and you can hear him. He's walking underneath these electrical wires, and he's yelling out for that dog's name, like Lucy, Lucy. Like he's looking for Lucy. So the Super 8 connecting back to the Lucy from Scarlett Johansson is connected to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, which means Jaden in the Sky with Diamonds, which is metaphorical for, heaven in the clouds, right? Or the universe above us in our brains. So just those 3 clues gets my mind off on a tangent where it's like, did they actually come here, abduct her as a child, replace her with a human with a different soul, or did they make a robot with a clone, and then take her up to the brain universe and deatomize her, so that I can't find my soulmate? So you got to forgive me, Janie, but that's how my mind works. Is I have to make sure that I'm covering all aspects of this investigation, and unfortunately, there's a lot of clues that say that's the case, girl. That you're not who you say you are. So Lucy with the 6th week of pregnancy thing is what I'm trying to stop, because apparently this Jaden's supposed to get pregnant and create a black hole, but if she doesn't have the elements to create the black hole, I don't know if she necessarily can create the black hole. And therefore, is it just smoke and mirrors? Is evil getting me to think that, Mother Jaden has passed on, so that I'll kind of drag my feet and trying to get this information out to her to stop her from getting pregnant, or to get her to maybe have an abortion if she is pregnant. I try not to worry about it too much, because I've already made up my mind that February is when she's going to become pregnant, in January. But these spirits and everybody just like, no man, it's happening right away. She already is, that type of stuff. So I don't know. So that's the thing about Lucy, the connection to Lucy in the story here about Mother. So there's a connection to the pregnancy. Now, whether or not she's pregnant now, or whether or not Mother was deatomized, taken up to the brain universe, I don't know. There's a long investigation that has to be begun, I guess. So, based on those three clues. Which isn't even including, the porn actress, Lucy Dahl. There's a porn actress called Lucy Dahl, which is connected to Billie Eilish. What's that song? What was that made for Barbie? So Lucy Dahl means Lucy Barbie. What was that made for? Which, no offense, Jaden, it's hinting that you're not necessarily who you say you are. You're like a Barbie, like a toy. What was that made for? That type of deal. Just off of Lucy Dahl's name. So Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds refers to these guys choosing diamonds or wealth over, equality. So Lucy. Anyhow, I got off on tangent there. I was still high, but everything I just taught you here about the assassination attempt on my life, that's black magic 101. How do I put this delicately? My Middle Eastern brothers who believe in that stuff. Yeah, sure you guys have your stuff, but what I just showed you, that's a crash course on how black magic actually works. And it's the human climax that casts the magic, along with the electricity in the houses, and how everything is interconnected. So, that being said, there's a little bit of information that figures out with this. This here, because there's an association to magnetism, it's like that's the element Earth. So I don't know, if that's the good guys or not, because I could be the bad guys, but I think they're the only good guys now. I've already seen that clue. So right there. So that says west. The W means west, and then those are ashes. Ashes away bacteria. So it basically burns away bacteria. Oh well. The fact that when you take the crystal method increases the dopamine to like 5 times the amount of dopamine of a climax means that there's like 1,500 units of dopamine in a hit. Which means when a man has a climax, it's like 5 times stronger than a normal climax, because a man releases 250 units of dopamine. So, the Fire Nation is in control of creation. Like it's the element fire that turned evil and launched this coup. So, West ashes away bacteria. So, the West can be considered as or the W can be considered as Cassiopeia, which is about the vain queen, which is about these guys that are in control of creation. So, W ashes away bacteria. So they're basically telling me my palm, olive, washes away bacteria. You want to think of bacteria as being the element Earth, like the good guys. So I theorize what they're getting me to do is climax on this stuff, have that very powerful orgasm, which ultimately contains fire in it, and it just burns everything in my body. And they're draining the life force of the spirits inside of me because they're trying to kill everything. So, Let's do, yeah, so. With that, I'll close this one down. I'm talking for what, 40 minutes now. I didn't expect to go that long. It's maybe 20 minutes or something.